Just back from the machine shop. The return to crank, and we've got a new con rod fitted, and at the same time we had new bearings fitted as well, one of which had to be machined to match the original, which has this groove cut into it. So yeah, looks good, quite pleased with that. Give it a proper inspection and check it's clean before I drop it back into the case. So yeah, brilliant. Okay, that's loosely set up by hand. Okay, I'm just compressing by hand. I'm not using the T-bar on the end, it's just to get it lined up. Make sure everything's settled. Then when the tension builds up I can add the T-bar to it and compress using that. It's a bit of a fiddle holding this crossbar, but we'll just work it and see what happens. Just gently tighten. Try and keep everything straight and centered. When we took the valves off, we used a spanner, but it's a bit more difficult now. I'm trying to hold this crossbar straight. So just see if it just let it drop. There we go. We're lined up at the back. I've got to keep that fairly centered because I need room to get the collets back in. Again, this is, you know, showing the limitations of the cheaper spring compressor. Careful not to damage anything here. I've avoided using the bigger one, which I think would sit on here better, but it's so badly made I'm worried it might break, end up killing me, or damaging something, or losing bits. Okay, brown out. It's very windy today. There's a good chance we might have a power cut. Okay, that's the spring compressed. Now, see if I can get the collets to sit in there. I'm a bit reluctant to put my fingers in, so I might see if I can use the magnet. Although this might just pull them straight back out again. Yeah, it's too strong. Okay, I know what's missing. A dab of grease. That'll help stick them on there. Sticking to my fingers. Yeah. No. Remember, everything's a learning curve. No, upside down. Come on, you. We can do better than this. Try and make it look easy. Okay, keep the magnet away. Is that seated? Again, there's probably a really easy way of doing this, and I'm just making it look twice as hard as it should be. But experience is everything, and I have none of it. That's one. At least we've learnt with the grease now. 2. Now if I release that, is it going to just hopefully gently get ready to catch them. Get ready to catch the buggers. Slowly, slowly. Just line the spring up better. There we go. Nope. Nope, nope. Push it back. Turn you get. I'm sure there's a knack to this that I'm not familiar with. Maybe swearing. Try a bit of swearing, see what happens. Oh, it could be patience is what I'm lacking. Patience. Okay, that seems centered. Okay, good. He says, confidently. Okay. Seems centered. Inner spring is centered. That, I think, is the first valve. Hopefully, the second one will go a bit easier. There you go. You can see the collets are sat nicely around the stem, locked in place by the ring. As it rises up, it kind of climps them in. Hopefully they're permanently clamped in, otherwise I'm in big trouble. Like I say, you can press on the valve, isn't it? Yeah, it seems okay. Hope it's okay. Find out in a couple of weeks. More for future reference, this is to tell me that I have definitely put on all 4 oil seals, because I will worry about it if I don't record it. The 4 valves are back in the head. That was a pretty smooth operation. No major calamities. Just take your time. They seem to all go in. There's plenty of oil on there, so, or in there as well, on all the seats and on the stems. So hopefully on startup, that should mitigate some of the friction. So now that's as far as I can go until the replacement parts come. In terms of the head, I can't put together the rocker cover because the seals and the various new springs and washers haven't arrived yet. So I guess the next job is to look at putting the crankcase halves together, which I am going to take my time doing because, again, never done it before, and also I think it's very easy to get wrong if you're not paying attention. So I think I might do a dry run first without gaskets or sealant, just loosely put it together, make sure the balance chains all line up, and just double check that nothing's forgotten or missing, that everything seats together nicely before we add the sealant, the Honda Bond, and basically just do a dry run so we can sort of predict any problems occurring before they're till we're deep in it. So yeah, so hopefully that'll be what we get on to next. First thing to do before we start putting case halves and stuff together is to clean this. This is the oil air separator that sits underneath the breather pipe. It's covered in crud, which I presume came in through the breather pipe over the years. So I'll clean the nuts off, and then I'll get those fitted to the upper part of the case, because that's the sort of thing I would quite easily forget to put in, and then I'd end up with a bag of something left over and I'd be like, ah, sugar. That's the breather, and that sits into the upper case, collects the crap that comes through. As you can see, we've got probably mud and stuff that's come in, probably after a dunking or two. And then we've got 3 bolts that hold that together. So it's just a bit quick clean to get the crud out, and then we can bolt that back. I'm about to refit this oil air separator that fits in the cover in here, but I noticed that where I washed the case the other day to get rid of all the bead blasting material, there's still water in these threads here, left over from when I washed it, which is a good job I noticed those, because I think if I try to put a screw in there I might end up hydraulically locking it out and possibly breaking the casing. So it's something to watch for the future. So I don't have an airline, because, well, I don't have an airline, so I've no way of like high pressure air blasting these out, so I've got to come up with another method, see what I can do. I'm going to use thread locker on these bolts, because the consequences of them falling out would mean they'd go straight into the gear train, which would make a horrible mess. Not that I think they would just fall out, but, you know, peace of mind. And the thread lock should hold that in. Another one of those tedious little jobs that you come across is just picking out all the old sealant out the threads and stuff. I doubt it'll make too much of a menace of itself, and some people probably don't bother. But I don't want to get it half assembled and realise something's gummed up, or one of these bits gets trapped in the Honda bond and causes an issue, or causes a thread issue. So I'm just going to work my way around and pick out this crap and goo and anything else that seems to be in the holes. And where I washed the case a few days ago, there's still water in it, which amazes me the stuff doesn't just dry out, but it doesn't seem to want to. So I've got to go around and clear the water out of the holes, because that could cause problems.